Why do I always start in fucking Iron Bomber? Alright. Lower bracket final at fucking like... what was it, like 4 on Sunday. And my brain was already fucking dead. And also I had to cast like half the game of like Plunks and the general production monitor. Because I didn't have the STV for like half the game. Which ended up working at least. Like somehow I managed to do with that, despite me spending like half the time in like third person. Somehow I managed to do with that. That was an experience. Alright, I don't remember any of this. So let's see how this goes. Also SVIFT's final game. As this SVIFT at least. And Se7en made like the SVIFT Velocity bus crew SVIFT. Now. Connor's remaking Nunya, I guess. Anyway, Amps just like going straight in, straight on Connor. Gets the kill immediately. Rest in peace. Also, I should change my stream title real quickly. F, that should be fine. Alright. So not wasting any time here. Just going straight for the medic. Nobody denies it. So I guess it's fair enough. Charlie is fun as well, which is like important detail to keep in mind, I guess. One is just like farm blocks for Charlie a little bit. Actually he didn't, because he kinda didn't do that well, to be honest. Up until like the game against Feint. Anyways, SVIFT just loses the mat immediately. They're kinda used to that, to be honest. So they're like really good at just like killing everything else after that happens on the mid fight. Except Se7en is kind of expecting that to happen. Slash press W there to walk into that rocket. So maybe not quite as like smart as I thought it would be. But hey, Disky gets out. Also Disky mat, important to keep in mind. Which I guess is interesting now, going like way ahead of this game. Given that he's gonna play Roma next season. Kinda strange for him to abandon the Disky there to begin with. I don't know what that was about, but certainly wasn't the best idea. I mean, they still have ad, so not the end of the world. But it's risky to for sure. Anyway, then they just jump, Smirre dies. Hans gets deleted. Harvey gets the cleanup rocket, but there's still ad for Se7en. So overall, just a little bit of DM right now. And nothing too majorly interesting. SVIFT capped a point, so that wastes some extra time. Thus Chris is trying to be annoying, but doesn't really do anything. So let's see, Se7en comes forward. Ad is going away, so wasting time actually worked quite nice for SVIFT. Into second, they didn't really take position with it yet, because they just now got the Uber. So Se7en just come in from top, pop in. Another one of those optimistic Ubers, because at this point they need to expect Connor to have. And granted, he's in a really shitty position now. Trying to probably play aggressive with his team, but nobody else was. So everybody just comes in a little bit delayed. Could have probably been a little better. They still get 2 of it immediately. Smirre gets 2 people on the Uber straight away. The Stark being straight in front of the scout. Idisky got out for now, which is great, I guess. But this is still momentum to SVIFT just all the way. And Smirre's playing fast, gets Idisky as well, only 2 up. So you need to still be concerned about like Connor dying. But realistically, optimistic pop by Se7en, and Connor had the right idea, which is just pop into them and kill things. It's another one of those examples which I was just talking about, which, you know, maybe sometimes you don't need to hold the Uber for like ever, and then just use into them. In this case it gets rewarded. They were still close enough for Smirre to just jump people. And in the end even chased down the medic. Which didn't happen initially, but it still happened. They still have some ad here. Smirre walks into a trap. Like Cadus dies for it. So that pretty much kills this push as well. So not quite a mirror situation here. But the same thing happens for SVIFT now. They just lose one. Stark tries to play from drop down. I don't know where Papi took 190 from. Either way, it's a stalemate. And that's about to be expected here. The question is, like, who does what to actually do anything about it? Obviously it's game tied and nothing. So nobody has like massive incentive to actually do stuff here. But sooner or later, somebody has to do something, and it's more so SVIFT and Se7en, because SVIFT would lose progress on a map if they were to just sit here forever. Sure, that's still technically 8.5 minutes away, but you know, if that goes bad, then it's wasted a whole lot of time. So SVIFT just like carefully prodding. They got Stark, I guess, with some spam. Punch just walks over the point, tries to get to Cadis. Pop comes in with that as well. He wasn't even flashed in there, which was really strange. But they definitely did pop in here, so they take the exchange. Question is, what is the goal of this exchange? Because that's always important to keep in mind. So far the answer is like getting the force, and that's like the only thing they really accomplish here. Because Papi gets stuck. Charlie, aka Funds, gets flashed out here. So all around, you know, maybe not a car crash of an exchange, but not a good one. Because they really just went in for the exchange and that's it. And there was like no further thought in that. So they get that, Amps tries to jump the combo, doesn't happen, but they still got both sollies. Which means Se7en still has a much better position. This is always interesting though, because Se7en rotates all right side to just like play it safe. But at the same time, leave all of like second to Stark right now. Who granted is playing pretty far back and safe, I guess, but he's also leaving the position, so like somebody could just walk in through Shutter. And I believe Cadis doesn't have sticks there because he needs them like fighting here. Hey, where's Cadis? Oh, Cadis just jumped in, never mind. So Cadis just does the old Kato, hits the pipe. Samdi tries to take the fight with Flash and Tiger. This kid takes a lot of damage, so he falls back a little bit. Which is good for SVIFT in some ways, because they're already losing numbers, so like temporary lack of heals actually helps quite a bit. Plus Cadis is way committed to that, with nobody else coming forward, because Samsi just pressed W to them and just denied them. Which is really, really, really good for SVIFT. Instead of just being really scared, they actually played this really confident. And it's not working yet, it's not winning them in this at the moment, but it's going decent enough. Stark comes forward. Se7en rotates all the way around. Connor serves rocket. Stark farms. Connor will die here for sure. So SVIFT wasn't playing this terribly, to be fair. But things needed to happen faster. For them for sure. I still admire the idea here. Papi tries to go behind. I still feel like something should have gone second. Maybe. The opportunity was just too big. They didn't have perfect numbers, so I mean, can't afford to not have too many people on the combo at that point anymore. Overall, interesting little fight there. Se7en takes advantage out of this, all the way to the other second again. That's just how Gran goes sometimes. And I'd rather spend a lot of time switching between second to second than just sitting on last not doing anything. Which will probably happen now. That Flash dies, he might as well just go sniper with this as well. Because honestly, why wouldn't he? Oh look, he goes spy. That sure is unexpected. Papi is buff banner as well, which I noticed he did like a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. I've seen a few buff banners, like Noose used it and somebody else. Actually, yeah, Gink actually used it as well. But like at least 3 like, top teams used the good old buff banner. Which, on last, is actually kind of a nice idea. Because as long as you have it, and you know, Ubers have been exchanged here in some way or another, you just pop it late and just like, kill them. In like this extended like late up half of the fight. Like after they pop in, you use as well. They want to just play position and maybe like might play ad. And they're still on last, you just pop the banner and just completely surprise them. Pretty nice interesting thing there. Assuming it comes into play, it could easily just not. Puppy just dies. And with a sniper on the field, it's a little bit tough to get the damage in. Like sniper's a surprisingly good counter to a banner that isn't there yet. Because you just constantly have to risk getting sniped trying to get your damage in. Sentry on level 2. 7 is just holding doors open. I really don't like that nobody was up there with Flash, but he gets a shot onto Papi, who, like I mentioned, had to do like mightily risky stuff to get the damage in. Amp just jumps in immediately from top as well. Think. Could have been actually like shot at all, but doesn't matter. He just jumps in immediately. Nothing quite there to deny him. The sentry couldn't shoot him because the fucking pipe was in the way. Plus Samsey wasn't there, neither was Funds sniping. So that all works out really fortunate for Amster. Gets the force he wants. And now it's just a matter of waiting for Amps to spawn. Flash actually goes back as well, which I really, really like. Like, yeah, it might waste like another like 5 seconds there. Worst. If the sniper goes back late. But maybe he didn't, he did it immediately, so they knew exactly what they were doing. Just get the shot, somebody died for the force afterwards, just swap back immediately. First trying to hide, did not get checked. However, felt like he did. So immediately pops around the corner, tries to take a fight with Stark. Wins it as well, despite dropping down there early. But a pop comes in from left through Shudder. With actually no sniper to threaten them, to be honest. So, standard grand procedure, except they're already down 1, plus Quist spams from behind. Just a really nice position to be in a hold. Having somebody behind here. Papi wants to just throw in a massive damage. I don't like this jump, to be honest. I feel like you just play high ground. He's dead. But he isn't dead yet. So that's nice. But he didn't fall back far enough. That was just like a second of pressing like A. You have to think that for a second. Second from pressing A away from surviving that rocket. Anyway, Samsey had his crit, so he just deletes Amps. Chris jumps in onto Cadis, trying to play high ground later? I don't know. Cadis would have died there either way, I think. Chris just sped things up. So yeah, this could have been like mildly better for SVIFT, but overall this was really, really good. Like 7 popped pretty early, so they just kind of had to like survive it, which they easily did. 7 just didn't like do enough with the Uber. Like Sentry was standing at the end, Heavy was standing at the end. And they were the only ones losing people with Stark behind. It was great by Chris. Who, if they tried to stay in longer, 7 would have just like deleted them from behind. So they were forced to go back to begin with. Swift gets back, a little bit of space here. Gets back to 7, 1 mid as well, with Tiger still being down from like at some point, I don't know when that happened actually. Actually helped quite a bit here, because otherwise 7 would probably play a little bit more aggressive here, given that they almost have. They would just like try to bluff it a little bit. Maybe play from choke as well until they have. And then play the fight a bit more confidently. They can't really do that so much with not having and being players down. But they back off early. A little bit of extra spam as well helps, just in case. Flash actually gets a counter to Chris, because Connor was too slow on the arrow. Okay, Amps jumps in immediately. Why not? Like, it's a stalemate, Roma's already down, so might as well use the opportunity here. Connor does not pop to that. Actually, he does, just really delayed. I really hope he saw these pipes, otherwise it's a little sketchy. Like, he already didn't pop like early there, so why pop late? But at least he didn't drop. So that's something. But yeah, they got the force. Actually, I'm curious if they even see that. But in that position, nobody was forward as well. Like, Kate spammed, but he didn't see anything. So it kind of relied on like the kill cam of the soldier jumping for them to know that the force even happened in the first place. But they certainly did. Otherwise they wouldn't pop in here. Chris tries to go behind. Amps just now spawns as well. Flash going back is putting him in into a really bad position. The Flash can just tell Amps where Chris is going, like exactly, and it's coming from the other side. Still dampens the blow of the Uber by Se7en themselves. Smirri gets stuck though, so that's still 2 down. Plus Funds opts to take a fight with Tiger, but nobody wins. So good enough for Se7en. Not great, because Connor has ad, but with Smirri being down, they have an easier time on second here. Plus they just about get the forward spawn denier. Not onto Chris, who's still there, being annoying. But it could be significantly worse. Alright, they just want to try to throw damage and Stark from the flank side while everybody's distracted and not everybody's up yet. Makes the best of the situation. Poppy couldn't stop that. Chris wasn't there, so the flank was obviously a little bit weaker to begin with. Plus Mirror like forcing Poppy to like help deny the combo side of things. So coming in from flank actually worked pretty well.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Where's Chris hiding? Lunchbox? Oh, he just goes for shot and Stark is not there yet.
Time has been added.
Who gets checked though? Gets the trade, could be worse, but I mean, still 1 down each in the end. Question is, will Se7en pop in with 5 here? They're taking their time. Okay, Se7en still pops in with that. Everybody is left side except Smirra, who has sticks on a point, sentry behind the point. But so far so good. Worked well enough last time. And they don't really have much of a goal yet, because they just don't see the fucking sentry gun. So in a way this spot is actually really nice. Because it just takes forever for them to realize. Probably will still go down here, but it just about goes down as the Uber fades. Amps jumps over left, nobody's there this time. Poppy plays high ground this time. What fucking sound is this? Holy shit. It's invisible too. I don't know what gun is this. Brass piece maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it sounds fucking awful. Poppy tries to play high ground, Amps just switches the target and switches position with him. Everybody comes back out left, Connor with the heal, with heals on a heavy. Makes sense so far. Plus Amps is the most forward, and they haven't accomplished much else on Se7en. So they can afford to take a little bit of the risk in trying to take a fight, which still, I mean, it's a like 4v1 fight against Amps, where he's just forced to back off into the sideline of a fucking Brass Beast heavy. So it's mostly just a case of like not losing here, which is fair enough. Like, it certainly isn't a play where you completely wipe them, but I mean, at the same time, Flash is like single-handedly trying to take a fight with a Brass Beast heavy, so maybe someone wants to just lose this right now. Everybody has sweet time to just like rotate over. Well, everybody's relative, but like Smirra and Savvy do. But Chris and Fons try to do stuff about the flank. Don't really though. Stark has way too much freedom in the end. And this was all going really well up to that point.
The control point is being captured.
Somebody just like ignored Stark in the end. And I agree with them crossing over to just deal with Se7en, who was still somehow there. Because the only reason to be still there is the fact that Stark was just wrapping around. And if that, like, even if he didn't die, as long as Stark didn't do anything, they would have just completely died and Stark would have died immediately after. So they just switched attention here on Swift a little bit too early. Or a little bit too much, I should say, with just one too many people. Like a single scout just keeping eyes on, like, the Sollies would have done. Still, it was overall a decent hold. Like, besides that, Se7en, like, absolutely did nothing. So overall, it's not a complete disaster. They got second pack. Yard even as well. On even Uber. Sure, they're still on a tight scoreline here, so nobody's winning this. Off of the fact that they're not losing, but hey, it's better than losing, I guess. Anyway, Chris did a play. I missed that, unfortunately. Did kill Cadus. Make some space. So that's really nice for them. Dark takes a lot of damage due to combo going into choke. Double Solly's scout come in from garage slash catwalk. Trying to take space from there. It's trying to be annoying, throwing some damage and maybe finding the force if they can help it. For now they play it more like they just want to take this like for free. It's interesting. Stark and Chris take a fight, well, kind of. Se7en isn't getting like, two-faced with this. They give up a little bit of space just to make it safe, but they don't like fall back all the way, and nobody really commits on Swift yet. It's mostly just a matter of them like being a little bit in, but nobody like really does much to threaten Se7en anymore. Plus the flank took a lot of damage, so they're mostly denied. So at this point you have to ask yourself on Swift, what is the goal here? Like, do we just want to like leave and survive now, or do we just like throw something in? Or do we want to continue this weird fight where we're not doing anything? And slowly but surely they're coming to the realization that it's maybe time to leave. Spawns are coming in. Punt is almost dead. Time to back off. Alright, so back to the stalemate, still tight scoreline at absolutely nothing. And sooner or later something has to happen, as we know. There's Stark trying to just jump in from choke. Actually weird to not see a scout back on top here, set further back. I mean, it still worked, I guess, but less common of a position to see. You know what happens here. Flank tries to throw in some damage, be annoying. Papi tries to jump in, lots of damage. Nothing dies. This kid takes the pack. Where's Flash falling all the way back? Is he going sniper? Yeah, he's going sniper, isn't he? I don't know, I kinda hate Grand second for sniper. In theory. Because this is the only good sideline and it's deniable as shit, and the med could just stand like around one of these two corners and then you just don't have the sideline anymore. Without the medic having to abandon too much space. Either that, or you just like peek in like super aggressively, and even that requires the med to not be behind this crate. At which point the sniper would have to like go on, like all the way, and at that point he should just die. However, they go the extra mile to have spy and sniper, because they know exactly that Swift won't do shit here. And then Connor just ignores the fact that there's a sniper. Or they didn't know yet, I don't know. I want to give Connor the benefit of the doubt for once and just say they didn't see the sniper yet. Kinda shit for Se7en, to be honest, that they get it like immediately without only that happening. Because now they have to push with a spy and a sniper. And that's just like no fun. Once it's behind. Focus on spy. He actually discusses something as enemy spy. What's Fun's doing? I don't know. In a way, losing Flashy is actually really fortunate. And I'm kinda surprised to not see Stark go back all the way to spawn as well to switch off. Because doing this with Spy and Sniper on advantage is kinda silly. Like, they are pushing here with 4 into second either way. So having Stark go back kinda doesn't make a difference. He sees disguised as friendly scout. Which is kinda stupid, to be honest. Because why not disguise as, you know, friendly soldier? Pretend you are, you know, the class you're actually playing. I guess, whatever. Alright, so they still decide to pop in with, like, the spy. And everything in Flash, there's no spawning. Because it's fair enough, Papi wants to, like, play from behind, as he do a lot of the time here. Just plays pipe instead, so they just switched their roles from earlier. Then pops in this time, the sentry dies pretty early. Like before we reach the 50% mark. So that's nice. That's an improvement. Stark is on spy. And granted how slowly his pushes were so far, he has time. Leaves the stab, probably will get a second chance here. Cadis jumps onto the same thing, so he kinda just wastes a single stick. Still, there's still Chris to get, so there's more to do. Who gets baited into taking his fight with Flash coming out from the spawn as well. Onto the left, gets that as well. Papi from behind actually didn't deny anything this time around, which defeats the purpose of the play in the first place. Scouts play point. The demo being down. Hans and Sam tried to come in time, but they're just too slow with everything else happening rather fast. So in a way, the spy actually worked perfectly here, because beforehand these fights just like were so stationary and didn't go anywhere. that, like the spy getting a pick immediately, opened up things really quickly. Plus the sentry died like early as well, which just helps in general. Because it just wasted so much time the last two pushes. Same with the play behind, I guess. So finally, 17 minutes in, Se7en gets the first round. Swift Souls is finally not enough anymore. Stark does the lamp play. Lamp just goes straight for target, deals a lot of damage. Connor and Chris try to avoid it, kinda just get themselves in more trouble. Especially with Stark on the lamp, which Swift is not properly dealing with. You can just spam damage, be annoying. Scouts are completely focusing him down, while still not dealing enough damage to take him down early. Goes down, trades for Smirre. Harpy gets through. I didn't see where he was jumping from because everything else happened at the same time. But I guess that's a nice jump. The scouts are actually really far back as well, which makes you wonder why it actually happened. Like, why was the Disky here? Like, maybe he surfed, I guess. Maybe he surfed something and was forced to be like forward, which made it easier for Papi. And the scouts couldn't do anything about it. Doesn't matter in the end, it happened. Matt went down. Scout fight that takes forever. 70 gets 1, 70 doesn't get 2. There we go, that took way too long. Alright, so Se7en kinda win the mid fight in the end. Although they should have won it a lot more convincing in my eyes. The bottom line is they did it. However, even Uber stalemate again. Well, it's not a stalemate yet, unless somebody actually decides to do something. I don't see why they would, given how the game has been so far. Actually, Amps tries to abuse like the opportunity here to just throw himself behind. Not perfectly timed enough. It was a nice opportunity, granted nobody was standing like perfectly there on Swift to deny that from happening. The combo tries as well to just get something else with that. It doesn't happen. So Se7en is putting a little bit of effort into actually like getting pace in this game. Single sack, does Swift do something with this? They have to at this point. Like beforehand they could be happy with this, well maybe not happy with the stalemate, but they could just settle with it. At this point they can't anymore. Papi gets denied. Chris comes in with the second play, which is a really nice jump because Se7en was really not looking at that. Which is I guess more to Cadis because the jump happened so far back from everything that there was no reason for Cadis to actually pay attention to that anymore. And just pay attention to Garage. Doesn't end up getting punished though. Chris still can't get the jump in properly. Although it was a nice attempt. Tiger's like already in for like absolutely no reason. So he just dies. I mean, it's affordable, it's an even Uber stalemate, sure. But still, there must be better things to do here than just walk in as a scout and die. Alright. Chris is getting baited into amps and flashes sideline. So he dies. Samzy wants to make a drop down play, but at this point they're one down. So he doesn't actually dare doing it in the end. Which is fair enough, why would he? Duck is waiting in the corner. Putting sticks away from the shutter doors will let his combo have a little bit more fun. Into second, I guess. Chris goes spy as you would expect, except Se7en just pop in with this, which is really interesting because so far Se7en has been, as much as Swift has been like content with the stalemate, so has Se7en. So you could see in the exchange is kind of interesting. You try to get amps behind, which makes sense. It's kind of what you want here. Except it's not looking too hot right now. Like the idea was Kate is like hitting something there as well, but he just didn't. Like these sticks are just not going far enough. I actually really like the idea there though. With Kate is trying to just help out that play more than actually like doing anything on the exchange, besides obviously getting that. So they end up leaving. Amps not being successful getting behind. It's not a disaster though, they only lost like one player. So I actually don't see why they would have to fall back this much. Because realistically, this shouldn't be a great opportunity for Swift to push. Unless they have like a master plan they're missing, but so far, like the combo is just abandoning Shutter and Swift is just pushing forward into like two people. Granted, Stark just walks into the corner and he dies, so I guess it's not going too well for Swift either. Tiger as well. So the Stark Tiger flank is just like doing work here right now. Cadis is doing his hardest to dodge every single arrow Stark is throwing, or Disc is throwing at him. Paradise as well. Eventually a Disc hits one. So they flanked did absolutely everything there. Like Swift was getting really happy about the fact that like something happened, so they just wanted to dry push with this. But they didn't put enough effort into like protecting the flank. And had just put everything through Shudder instead. Which let 2 people in for free from behind, killed 2 to start off with, and everything else just collapsed afterwards. And it wasn't that great of a position, like, I don't feel like Swift should have pushed there in the first place. Unless they have like something in the sideline that will die immediately, but that wasn't really the case. Like Funds just went really deep and Smirra just was standing in Shudder. So midfight number 3, 7 up 2 at this point. Okay. Stark goes high again, probably Lamp again. While Amp goes a little bit more direct on target. Trying to just get towards the combo. It's one of this mirror. Nice arrow there onto Stark, which furthers the play here. Everybody's distracted by Amp, so Stark just drops down. Why waste time up there if you don't, like, get the attention? Because that's the thing with the Lamp play, either you take all the attention to yourself by just being hugely fucking annoying, or you just drop down immediately if nobody fucking gives a shit, and the ladder happened, and he just had the easiest time killing Connor here while everybody was busy trying to deal with Amps in the first place, who just left straight away. Because why would he die for that? Knowing that Stark probably won't stay alive much longer after that. So all around they played that pretty smart so far. However, it's still just 1-for-1 trading for the medic, so needless to say, Swift will just put in everything they have to kill a Disky here. As they do. They're kind of weak. That helps already straight away to just like kill them quicker. And there's just 2 packs on this entire midpoint as well, so... well, 2 big ones at least. So Swift is just pressing W at this point. Except pretty 1-by-1. Like everything just happened 1-by-1. Se7en had so much time to just see one coming, kill them, change target to another, kill that, and then change again. So not the greatest of like sack waves if you want to call it that. Too easy for Se7en here. This just needs to like happen coordinated better. People need to call aggression a little bit better now. Works for Se7en. Nice little lamp mid with the arrow as well. Like in the best case scenario, there's 2 ways that goes if it goes well, which is, like I said, pay attention. Like they pay too much attention to you, or they pay too little attention to you. And neither of those 2 is good, obviously. Anyway, push in again, straight to the sentry. Find it again, kind of early. This time, however, they also pay a lot of attention behind. Have 3 people push slow. Which makes sense, because... like, how much realistically do you expect the combo to get here? Like, let's be honest. Like, you pop in here, everybody's just gonna avoid you, you get the sentry. Maybe, if you're really lucky, somebody is gonna overextend and die to the combo as well. At best, the engineer, who just doesn't go into spawn fast enough. But that's it, so... having everything else be, like, relatively slow kind of makes sense. Except everything else after the UFA actually happens really fast here. Everybody comes forward left side, except Cadis, who just once again jumps right side immediately. Except last time he had backup. This time he just does it alone. Sure, he got a decent amount of damage, and Sam's somehow on sniper here. Which honestly doesn't make any sense. Tiger gets Chris somehow. I mean, they play Tiger with this go, so that's fair enough. So at this point it's 3v5, they can just press W, win. So decent enough by Se7en. Swift made it a little easy, granted. Because like the sniper didn't make any sense. Stuff like that. But all around Se7en did the right things there. Pause. So 3-0 lead 7. Swift tactical pause to actually discuss what the shit they want to do here. Okay, Stark high jump, not for the lamp though, and that was intentionally not the lamp, I would imagine, because otherwise he would have actually kind of been closer to that. Lamp goes high as well, however he took a bunch of damage for it, so he probably is just leaving whatever play he does. Nice arrow there. By Disky Stark, not so lucky. Just gets taken down with his jump, trying to just get behind from Catwalk, or just play from Catwalk, switching it up a little bit. Not working out too well. Amps goes straight away for another play, straight onto Connor's head. And Samley's over there dealing with one jump. Charlie, aka Funz, is pressing W, so nobody protected Connor. So as much as we'd like to beam on Connor, that was really not his fault this time. So tactical pause, maybe not working too great yet. I mean, they're winning by numbers. It's actually a decent arrow there, but doesn't matter. Chris still gets to jump in while everybody else is just waiting for heals. So as much as Connor didn't get protection there, he went at Disky too much just because everybody needed healing. And nobody was in position with that at all. So perfectly works for them. Connor just quits because why not, I guess. But I have something to win here. Smith also going quickies, which I guess is fair enough. And definitely offsets the mightily lower damage of the thing. Just need to actually build here to have an advantage. And then you're good to go. Plus it's annoying to deal with for Cadus, because any sticky trap is just gone immediately. Like I want Smith sees it. Throws 1, throws 2. Throws 3, throws 4, nothing hits. Definitely could have killed Cadus there. But even then, everybody else on 7 was really passive. To the point where nothing but Cadus should have died. And that's not good enough. Nothing was in Smith's sideline. So that unfortunately did not work. Chris gets a pick onto Tiger on flank, which helps, I guess, to just hold off the push, but he's still there, just having won it, so kinda lucky that Amps beefs that rocket by shooting the floor. Puppy tags in, gets the kill. So they're slowing them down at least. Decently so. 7 doesn't dare popping in with 2 down here. Granted, it's 5 minutes left on 3-0 lead. So they just need 2 minutes more time. About to win this. Let's say 2.5 to be generous. So Swift still with the crits. Just kind of pops in. Tiger gets dropped from that, but it's affordable as long as something dies. However, they're playing this pretty passive for the most part. Everybody leaves quickly. They know exactly what they have to face up here, which is an overcharge. Which is a losing fight if you decide to stay in there. So they have the right decision here. Actually, this might as well be working pretty well here. If it ends up working. They don't overextend for the crits at all. Which is better than a lot of people do in these sort of situations. They have one, they rotate immediately, and they kinda like these situations, Swift. Question is if it's enough against 7. Connor's playing super aggressive. And backpedals into sticks as well. Smith is not committed anymore because he's weak. Connor wants to go back and heal him. So taking the Demoman out is immediate priority. I mean, sure Connor too, but Demo maybe more so. Blank is also pretty slow with this right now. Chris Samsey just come in now. Making this a really, really weird fight. They eventually have the numbers at 4, but only late. Nobody is with Disky anymore, which further just helps out Swift here. So the combo, or not the combo, the flank needed to be a little bit faster for Swift, I think. To just delay the worst. Maybe Cadus denied them when I didn't see it. But they definitely needed to be faster here. And at the end of the day, it's pretty much just a reset. was a decent opportunity. Like, getting one with the crit without dying and getting the force as well is kinda nice, actually. But if you don't have the repush after that, it's just not good enough. Anyway, they know they don't have time, so they just press W. So everybody just dies. Your team that's ready for it. So your crits up, trying their hardest. With a little bit foresight there, that play actually could have worked, granted. But they know they don't have time. So I don't think too much amazing stuff will happen anymore. Se7en just pops in, they got 2 on the flank. Pops right to a combo that's still there. But they don't have much of a choice. Trading, like, I mean 3 for 2 on the Uber, which is like kinda not that terrible on paper. But there will already be 2 down, so there's nothing left afterwards. And that's 4-0, and that's definitely game. If it wasn't before already. It is now for sure. And yeah, I don't even think there's like much point of watching this anymore. Let's just head straight into the second map, which was the first map, which is Process again, but with different teams, so why not? I haven't seen this since LAN, and I casted it, and I don't remember shit. So that's nice. Yeah, this was first map, so like both teams probably a little bit more energetic going into this. Especially SVIFT here. Anyway, Chris goes high, tries to just throw some damage to amp some high ground. SVIFT goes fast, going enemy crate. Kate is really fast as well, going blue crate. And throwing damage over to choke, which is his main goal there, just like... You know, at worst he just slows down people just a little bit. At best he deals a ton of damage. Kind of just a little bit of that here, deals a bit to corner. It's a start. Plus he forces them to make a decision early on by just taking a lot of attention to himself with that play. So they want to deal with that. Except Tiger goes towards that position pretty immediately to just throw some damage to Papi, denies him. Nothing major yet. Just minor reactions that are decent from Se7en. This kid just waiting. Unspotted so far. I mean, sure, they kinda knew he was there, he spammed earlier, but dropped down and just waits now for a decent jump to be made. What is he spamming? Anyway, pretty passive start here. Swirl throws some sticks into Granary, who realizes in time. Funds takes a bunch of damage on the point. Adiski tries to cross, Chris tries the same. Both kinda weak, Adiski just reacts, sees Chris. Why not just shoot that guy? So he does. Takes him out. First kill is made pretty late actually. Pretty like slow mid so far. Both teams just like mostly staying on outside. Papi went over probably to deal with Adiski before he jumped away. Kinda just left alone now. Tiger in front of him. So Samsy comes over and help. Kinda like you would expect. So does Fun's down. This is where it gets sketchy because now there's 3 people left and only Smirre with the medic. Amps dies somewhere. Which I guess is nice. So Adiski has such a free jump onto either a weak Smirre or a corner. Completely helpless. Hits that. Nice reaction. This is why you just need to like realize where people are on mid-fights, especially on this one because it's so big. Because the moment Tiger realizes that everybody is going for him on the other side of the midpoint, it's just so easy for Adiski to get that jump. Not just a matter of playing survival. However, that's Swift's favorite position in the game ever. A mid-fight where Connor dies. So they just all jump forward and unlike Gran, it actually works surprisingly much better. So as much effort into Se7en put into like getting the stuff they did get. It doesn't matter if you just can't protect yourself in the end from like a sack wave. And in all honesty, those need to like be predictable. Like you can't be surprised by these anymore. You kill the Met, especially if the Met is like your only goal on the mid fight as well. Like, it clearly was here at the end. After this huge long spam battle. Like, it's gonna be so obvious that they're just gonna sack for Stark. So definitely not one you should lose. Alright, plays are being made. Swift just kind of leaves this in, Papi jumps. Everybody had just spammed. Chris playing slop on the flank. If something happens, maybe make it delayed play as well. Whatever the heart desires. Playing pretty slow here. Stark also doesn't have yet, so they can definitely afford to do it the way they do. They definitely knew that they will have Ad here coming in, because Stark died late. So they just kind of carefully trot their way in here. Like a soldier leading, everybody else spamming to back that off. Just force them back off the fact that Se7en doesn't have yet. Don't want to take this fight. The Disky dying, this is kind of nice. Not a huge deal, but it's a player down, you can do stuff with that. Even if it's just like sacking one. Tiger Snipes, Stark's playing from there. You can also try to just play in with that, because you know there's no setup yet. There's no sentry gun to deal with. Not the best, but you know, better than just doing nothing, which is what ends up happening. Nobody sags, nobody tries to do anything here. Just a little bit of a shame. Because now Se7en has all the time in the world to just build stuff. Or at least get a heavy. And they do get the sentry up now. So yeah, it's just a good opportunity wasted if you don't go for a play there. Does Papi have a banner? No, he does not. And I guess the one to have banners here, if at all, is the Disky and Se7en. Would be only the conch. And he does, actually. Which, surprisingly enough, worked against Se7en, against Froyo in one game. When he just like was completely surprised by a like banner sack, which I still am really not a fan of. But I guess it like defeated Banny at one point, so fair enough. But I think that was in the group game, and the group game demo doesn't exist. Which is a shame. Anyway, back to the game. Tiger still sniping, or flash even, just to be annoying. Swift visibly are not comfortable in lobby right now. He just needs some more damage for his 480. Smith almost dies. Se7en does indeed die. Just pressing W, so maybe he goes sniper. But maybe, I mean, he most certainly will. Why else would he walk in there? Oh look, what a surprise, Se7en went sniper. Who would have thought? Sometimes it's the minor things where just like some people, I think Electro does it with Neville sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, where they just like take the effort to just go all the way back to like spawn with a scout in the stalemate where they know the other team doesn't do jack shit, to switch off to sniper, to at least have like one surprising play here, because this is not surprising. Like a scout walking in, dying, and switching to sniper is the most obvious play ever. Sure, it like only matters for like the first shot, but you know, that can help. Anyway. Flash gets 2 pretty quickly. Se7en wanted to take the fight, Papi just got surprised by the sideline. Disky banner pops in with conch from behind them. This is actually really nice, that never mind. Hey, do I just call you dumb? Yeah, you can. Hi ultimate. I wanted to praise Disky there for not going for corner necessarily to get the force. He will still get it. Never mind, he gets a drop. Whoops. I was about to say, it's nice that he like separated Connor from everybody else. So it's either gonna be a force or Connor drops people. Because it really looked like he's just gonna kill Smither. Which would still have been terrible for Swift, because they would have no people to do anything on second. But then Connor just beefs. I don't know why he didn't pop there. Like he probably, I mean, it's not necessarily only his fault, because there was 2 people with him. So it's mostly just like collective failure, to be fair. But still. And granted, that had again nothing to do with the fucking conch as well. Like the conch really didn't change anything about that jump being just like way too easy. And the extra health also didn't like do anything. So once again, The contra pop just disappoints me in the end. Even though they got a drop, technically. What did Kate die in almost? Oh, sniper probably, yeah. So yeah, the sniper's the only thing that like puts the wrench into Se7en just slowly taking all the space away. Because they can just carry this forward now, except the sniper's obviously being annoying. If he was there. What can you see from here? Only inside here, so Sam just expect them to play slowly from lobby, but they don't. They come in from choke. See, there's no sniper, so who gives a shit? Let's just walk in. Chris dies as well. Which, that is kind of sketchy, because like I said before, there's no setup yet with one down as well. There's a little bit of an opportunity. Charlie goes, or Charlie, Fun's even. Goes heavy. So they try before like the worst can happen, before like a sentry gun can come up. Which is fair enough, but you know, jump doesn't go through. And that's kind of what you want if like the opportunity arises. So nothing much else happens with that. Stalemate again, except on the other part of the map. Chris goes spy because, you know, he's Chris, he goes spy. This game multi-tries. But this time there's a sentry. So this won't happen too easily. Chris spy, Sam the sniper. This time Chris actually commits to it as well. See what they can do with this. I mean, the longer this takes, the more they need to expect it to be a spy. To be honest, especially with Chris. Like, Chris is the kind of player to go spy on every opportunity he has. Meanwhile on last, this is trying to spam in to the sentry. The rest of them is trying to keep position to lobby, except there's a sniper, which makes life harder. Chris is still behind. Chris is dead. And just jumps the sniper. And this is like unintentionally a really nice position to be in. Eventually Ams dies, which is unfortunate. Like it's tough because Flash is sniper, so it's not like the best situation ever, but like if he just took his time to just like try and survive Charlie, to take an arrow and then the push comes in with that, would have been amazing. But with a sniper it's a little bit awkward. Anyway, they use the freedom they have now with knowing that 2 people are down, including the sniper, to spam corner and getting juggled around for sure. The Spencer protected him, but there's no NG close to the sentry gun to protect that anymore. Still, Cadis dies in the attempt to spam. And somehow this turned from amazing to just kind of whatever. In the end. Which banner is that? This is Battalions? Question mark? Yes it is, okay. So damage resistance just being annoying to Se7en with like people down right now. Sniper deals like how much now? Like 120? Doesn't matter if you still are too weak there, so Smith still dies. So it was a valid attempt, but they only got space with this, not really any pressure onto anyone. And the moment the banner goes down, Se7en just comes in, throws damage onto people. With 1 down already, Swift is certainly forced to poppy early. Except Connor's getting just like flung all around the map while everybody else is leaving. Fun's is so far away from him. It's just like sad. Connor could have been like here already if Fun was just with him. And they already have the worst super as well, with a backup threat as well, drawing everybody back. Look at that, Connor gets denied by stakes. He can't go anywhere. Fun's caps the point, which I guess is alright. Although saving Connor here is kinda getting harder and harder right now. Which I mean pretty much impossible. However, Fun's is still there, being annoying. Yeah, it's like a weird decision for Fun's to make as well, because either he protects his Matty and then it's stuck on last, or he caps the point, wastes a lot of time for Se7en and risks Connor dying, which ended up happening. And he doesn't even get the cleanup kill onto Stark either. Later on. When everybody just feeds, They get the kill pretty much straight away. They all die for it. So yeah, there was like a whole lot of like weird DM donkey decisions here by SVIFT. None of which are like safe, to say the least.
Time has been added.
And Se7en just reacted nicely to the banner, which is just avoid it for as long as they can and just like walk into a team that doesn't have perfect position yet. And just try to get forced out and get a better Uber out of it. And with nobody being close as well, they had an easy time doing that. Because they didn't get forced first. And Flash is still sniping and SVIFT still can't deal with it. So Puppy dies, both scouts on the point take the same sticky damage. SMD is still in there. Gonna die, so everybody just presses W. Like somehow survives that. Interestingly enough. But everybody just like way overcommits to that in the end. The moment the sniper got a kill, it's pretty much was curtains already. Not just a matter of capping the point here. Alright, again, really slow start to the game. Cadis beefs this rollout. And this is certainly not a case of i58, which where both demo men just intentionally went slow to out-mind game the other one. No, he just certainly beefed his rollout, so... Also means that the Disky doesn't go fast as well, because there's nothing for him to threaten anymore if there's no sticky damage either. He just kind of takes position late here. Amps goes high as he does, trying to just like find something useful to hit, if not just kind of like rotate back to his own team. Which he just does, nothing really available yet. Nothing what happens with that in the first few seconds. Chris up top as well, throws some damage over, gets forced back by Flash, Poppy tags in for him. Throwing some damage over to Cadis, who doesn't have the scouts too close to him. They're like not too far back either, but he has an opportunity to throw some damage onto the demo, which is always good. Disky goes PC, threatened in there by Sam. He hits a rocket, kills him right away. Tiger takes like all the damage as well. He actually doesn't crater there, but he's super weak. And that kind of needs to be like the focus call now. Because either that or Cadis are like the most damaged players yet. But they don't react far enough, or fast enough to actually get the kill onto Tiger. Hi Joe. What up? Chris goes in for the kill, which really shouldn't have needed to be the play here. There just need to be a better focus call. Anyway, Disky behind, or from behind from PC, after wrapping around, just kills more things. However, not enough to get corner in the end.
Time has been added.
What was the logic of Fun's capping there, rather than staying with Connor? I don't know, that was like a really like weird fight to begin with there. Where they just kinda like got stuck in. They had the cap time, so... Like they wanted to take this much easier to begin with. And it then didn't end up working out the way they wanted to. So, like Fans was stuck in the decision where he either leaves with Connor, or caps point and wastes time for second. On second, for Se7en to get that. Ended up choosing the ladder. Ended up getting Connor killed. Like, they were already stuck in a really shitty position there. Yeah, they got disconnected from each other way too much. Like, they should have been out way quicker than that. Like, they just messed up coming in there. I'm gonna like Twitch clip, no not Twitch clip, Twitch highlight this and like put this somewhere so you can like look this all up later. So that's exactly the main idea why I'm doing this right now. Anyway, Chris is spy, as you would expect. This doesn't seem like a great timing for him to uncloak there. I think, actually is he uncloaked? Anyway, Disky jumps up the corner, gets 100, not enough. Stark on spy gets spotted. Or Chris on spy. Doesn't get the stab, so that's pretty much like an indirect Roma exchange. I guess. Anyway, Amps does jump here as well, which is kind of strange. But why not, I guess. Not like SVIFT is going to do anything with this. And Disky spawns as well right now, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, a little bit more of nothing until people are properly here, even Uber stalemate. So each team just takes their sweet time to actually do something. Chris goes forward, PC, doesn't end up committing. Alright, what's the game plan here? Se7en is only 1 up. So sure, SWIFT is the one that needs to do stuff. Amps peaks really aggressively there, and I don't know why. Like, if this was supposed to be a jump, he took his sweet time actually jumping. And SWIFT just had easy time cleaning it up. He just took way too long with whatever he wanted to do there, I would imagine. Anyway, Chris makes some moves in PC again at the same time. Baits a fight with a disc, he wins it in the end. So that's a decently big deal. Took quite a while, so Amps is spawning already. It's not quite 2-player ad, but they try their best to like do stuff with this right now. Like Samdi and Chris are still aggressive on the flank. Really a lot though. But nobody is that close as well, so like there's not much to get here in the end. It's still mildly annoying, but in the end all they can do is spam a bit of the stack. While Se7en played pretty safely around him. As much as they let the people in. They didn't let anything happen, plus Kate is locked down choke as well. And Papi and PC didn't end up mattering. I feel like it should have. Like Papi had the opportunity to jump there a little bit uncontested. But Chris was too far in already at that point for it to be really, really worth it. Because then they would go down 3-4-4s and they would do second either way. And Flash goes all the way behind either way, which could have still happened if they got the force onto Se7en to begin with. And then they would have just maybe gotten force there as well, and it would have been even worse. Worst case scenario not quite happening, but it's certainly far from good. Let's do second here on even with stalemate. With the demo being down. That's probably the brass piece being fucking annoying and sound again. Does Se7en do anything with this? They only have like 1 player at here right now with the spawns coming in. So it's not that amazing, but it's the demo down, which is alright. No, they don't try like the most impressive play here, just throw amps in. Fair enough. Not like risking too much right now. Don't have to either necessarily. SWIFT is really aggressive with the 1 pick they have. Like they used freedom as much as they can, especially with no sniper on the field. Just from all sides spams coming in. This gear almost dies to it. If they would have gotten that, it would have been amazing. Kate is down there trying to deny. Whoops, what happened there? Oh yeah, double crash. Isn't that just fun? But yeah, SWIFT used like the space they had like as quickly as they could to just get something. Even if they don't end up committing to anything, it's better than nothing, I guess. See, I wonder if it crashes again. Do you remember how much time go into this demo? Because I sure don't. We're like at least 10 minutes in. Like it was still 1-0. So here's the fast recap of the game, I guess. Which is a lot of stamina, that is to say. SWIFT crawls their way in here, then a lot more nothing happens. And a lot more nothing. And even more nothing. And even more nothing. And this kid just jumps in and just farms. Chris on spy. Somebody sniper. Double off class ends up not so great. 7 can't actually do anything with that. So this is where they banner pop, just to like get back to that situation again, I guess. So they pop in here with banner, scare 7 away. For a little bit, banner goes off, 7 just comes in back again. Smithy gets sniped. And if it wasn't like a good opportunity before, it certainly is now without a demo man. So they just end up taking this fight. Connor wants to actually take this fight though, which... I don't know actually, they are 1 down. Not the greatest of plays here. Connor walks over a stick, he gets flung into the map. Hans wants to leave immediately, because backcap happens. They have 3 people back, so it's not too bad. But it's scary and they already are at the demo down. That's a shitty fight all around. Fans, however, sees it's like 90% cap here, so he just really wants to quickly cap this. Connor, however, needs to leave, so... It's just a really shitty situation for Connor here, because he would leave faster with Fans on the beam. But at the same time, it's also really good to just end up capping the point here. But they certainly could not do both. So for whichever one they did end up getting, they don't end up getting the other one. So much about that one again. That was mid. This is some spy. It ends up not working. So I'm just sacks in. A little bit more stalemating. Chris is doing his thing. Going forward, waiting a discrete once. Amp just kinda dies. This gets baited. Everybody tries to sack in, but just kinda dies for it. 7 move in here. Right, this is about where it happened. Like the crash. Roughly. When I am sacked. So roughly at the time where it crashed, right? Just about. So it wants to push out here, Tiger dies. Get the force out of 7, we're just kind of complying with it. Connor pops as well, have the better Uber here. Papi dies as well. Flash gets juggled behind, which is actually really fucking scary right now. Because they already pushed forward, thinking that nothing will happen. That the combo just denies everybody who will back up from rollout or 1. Except they just completely tunnel vision like anything else. But Flash. Samsy spotted it apparently, Chris as well, so they come back here in time. Means numbers on second are a little bit more shitty, but that was pretty much a close call there. Like they reacted really late to like the scout going behind. Okay, I guess it didn't crash again.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
So that's nice. I think this was one of the demos. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was one of those demos of the like 20 that like was broken to begin with, and Pesa had to fix them. I still don't understand how he fixed demos. And maybe I should give him the pile of Copenhagen ones that are broken, because there's a lot more of those. But apparently he understands what's causing it, and it's like related to specific weapons, like some NG stuff, like some heavy stuff. For whatever reason. And all around, Valve, fix your shit please. Anyway, there's still half a game left here. So we would have missed a lot if this ended up not working, which would have been unfortunate. Except right now nothing's happening, so maybe not. He's currently sniping. Oh, he's just coming here. Oh yeah, I remember this, he struggled so much getting up there. He does end up doing it. Getting the nice high ground sideline here. And then he just falls down. So, you know, worth the effort for sure. As well with the nice high sticks against jumpers. Just in case. Obviously Amp is not gonna like immediately fall for that. Because why would he even go in there in the first place? But they can be nice. And obviously the soldier's trying to just like go close to a wall to actually like wall jump. So those make perfect sense. And even if it doesn't end up killing, like if you just strafe enough away from the wall, it would still just deal like 150 damage and throw him across the map. So he can't do shit. Flash also goes sniper. RP peeks the sideline. Will die for it. So that's pretty nice conversion rate on Flash right now. this entire game so far. Question is, will Se7en do anything with that? Because so far the answer is a resounding no. Look at that, I think Kate is just intentionally like checked for those sticks, but just sending sticks high to this wall and air netting them. Which is again just a minor thing. But it's really nice. Like that's the kind of minor stuff that I'd like to see in like Prem games that you won't get in like mid. Like there's just these like minor anti-meta things. Anyway, Samsy's like sniping right now. I mean, he hit something. Nothing dies at the moment besides Chris. So that's unfortunate. So we're going back to the drawing board. Trying to create another opportunity. Actually, this guy is committed. Really deep. He got in there, they just kind of let him, but he also didn't have much of a target. He was kind of also on the other side of the midpoint. So he just kind of tried to take a fight with Papi and maybe try to get something from there. Didn't end up happening. So just trading players right now. They're going forward sewer again for the sniper sideline. Playing from the inside here. Smurrik Chris watching anything else. Amps is just like annoying them. Chris just commits through the door. Tries to get the kill, doesn't happen, but also doesn't die, so it's fine. And Papi all the way back there watching PC. That was a close call for Samsy. That gets a shot into Smurra, who's standing in the sideline for too long. Can they actually do something with this though? The answer is double sack-ish. I mean, Amps is just kind of there probably as moral support and like throwing in 30 damage. But that 30 damage might just matter. Ended up not mattering whatsoever. But I guess Falash hit a shot there. Actually all the way from sewer, which is actually really nice. And again, Falash just sniped from sewer and Tiger just holds the open the door. So they actually did this twice, I didn't even realize when I watched the snipe. It's really nice though, because like the medic is just like in a perpetual shitty position, trying to avoid this sideline on process mid without without giving up a lot of space. Like avoiding these two sidelines is pretty easy, but avoiding this one without like committing people to it, which you can't when you're one down trying to like deny every single jumper coming in, and there was two. It's just kind of shitty. And Se7en is making great use of that. Top 10 underrated tier 2 sidelines. Anyway, otherwise just a nice little double jump there. Even if Flash didn't end up hitting that shot, it was still a really nice force attempt that probably would have gone through. Like with Amps just throwing damage from his passive position, where he could have just leave from as well, like really safely. At least he committed to the jump to get the rest of the damage in. Like that was a really nice like force. Ended up being a little bit more than that. Somewhere in the middle of that, Stark did use. So I guess that happened. While I was praising everything else. SMD still sniping. And they're passive off the back of that. See, that's what I mean. They know the sideline is there, so they're trying to avoid this as much as they can. Obviously, that sideline isn't... Like, it's not like you need to avoid everything from here. Because the moment the sniper goes here, he should just die immediately. So it's mostly just avoiding something that's like straight in front of the door. Which is still a decent amount of space that it covers. Anyway, Samsy gets struggled on Pacatus, really nice sticks. That's one less thing to worry about. Amps again just kinda leads the thing in. Tries to bait people. Ends up getting just flash baited more than anything. Walked into the corner trap, which is actually really a funny trap. Because it just kinda looks like a single stick in a corner, but it ends up being like 8. People just forget about it. It's kinda stupid. Something like this trap as well, like in this corner as well. Like, you give up mid and then you just, the bad wants just to get position there and he just dies. Anyway, back to things that are actually happening. Papi Chris died trying to do something. That means Se7en is just taking this as a free invitation to last while the sentry isn't up yet. But I have you on the field properly. Which one switches off to now. So Amps wants to just take the freedom to get forced into corner. This as well. Trying their hardest here. get there. They might just both end up dying. Connor just pops early as well, plays the safe. But now they have to die pretty much. At least one did. But yeah, it was just too good of an opportunity for Se7en to pass up on. Like, they had two options. They either try to just play it immediately with that, but the spawns were coming in too close to that. It would actually be worth it. Like, if the spawns happen while the Ubers would still be on there, it's not worth exchanging for it. Like, if the enemy were still on there, it's just not worth the effort. Let's go for the second set. If you know the enemy spawns are roughly, like way later than the Ubers will be ended exchanging, then you can go for that, because then you can still get a kill after the Uber before the spawns are up, so you will actually have still realistic player ad. Instead of just coming in with 2-player ad, you exchange Ubers, they get the spawns, and then you just have an even fight at your hand. And it really wasn't worth the effort. Anyway, they decide to come in from right side. Nothing forcing them early, so they just walk off the sentry. Pretty optimal so far. However, it takes a ton of time. I don't actually know where they wasted all this time. So they end up popping on Connor having 75. It's far from optimal. Plus, Flash dies immediately trading with Chris on entry, who almost also killed Adiski. So Chris doing a lot of work here, trying to go behind, as you would expect. And now the Uber comes in over the point, tries to get something here. Heavy is the obvious choice, Demo is the second one here. However, gets completely just destroyed. And he didn't get flashed either. So the only silver lining they have so far is Tiger on the point. A lot of time, Papi comes in. Tries to block it, does just about. Smirror drops down as well. And this is maybe where Cadis shouldn't focus the heavy, because nobody actually deals any damage right now to the heavy. Everybody else is just busy on the point. And the damage would have been much better from the point right now. And he could have easily like, killed 2 people with that, and then just trying to team up on the heavy. Later on.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
So I think they should have just played the point here and baited people onto it.
Time has been
Again, easy to say in retrospect, but just nothing happened to that heavy. And they did in fact bait people onto the point. Speaking of, Connor died. I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know when, but it happened. So now SVIFT is just again in perpetual feed mode here, trying to kill Stark. And that was like way too close, to be honest. But this time he survives. Where did Connor die? Now he got sniped. I have no fucking clue where. That Connor's medkit? No, ammo kit even? Maybe. You get flash hits, another one. But this is like even easier now without a heavy, which gave them trouble before, which gave them trouble in Grants as well. Or not even Grants, upper bracket final, I should say. So you know, they have the entry pick. If they don't rush this too much, they even get Uber at the point where, you know, like halfway across the point here. Which is really nice. SVIFT hasn't given up yet, but they don't have any setup here. So they just kind of need to rely on the fact that Se7en doesn't have Uber yet. Which, I mean, they ignore Chris at least, I guess, so that helps. Chris commits pretty deep for that, though. Oh no, never mind, he does end up going down. There was sticks on the shutter door. Flash again, just like dies. Sort of trying to go behind. Doesn't matter, Adiski and Ams have an easy time crossing over this time around. Because everybody on SVIFT is just all over the place trying to just deny people. So yeah, they cross over collectively over to the left side. While 2 people try to deny people coming in. While Se7en's just like wasting time to get over here. Which still somehow isn't the safe win condition here, so they beef really hard on the DM part in the end. But Cadis and Stark stay alive, so that's all that matters. Could have been worse. Se7en was just kind of winging that one, to be honest. Like they kind of just made the goals up as they went along. But they just had too many advantages coming in. There was no fucking heavy anymore, and there couldn't be because he died. They got Uber on the way. And he killed Connors pretty much straight away as well. But he just, besides Uber, also had heal at. Alright, 5 minutes left. Technically still possible, but SVIFT hasn't really been in control ever since like Post 5 minutes. Se7en has been not necessarily rolling over them, but they certainly controlled the pace a little bit better. Chris and Poppy try to come over from the left side, go to control high ground, he doesn't go anywhere. Poppy can't even commit any further. Takes 124 as well for just attempting. Se7en just quickly reacting to where people are. Adiski again just walking forward from the right side. And nobody is with Smirre whatsoever, because once again everybody on SWIFT is just completely getting carried away by the fight on the right side, besides Smirre. To where they leave this wide open, which happened before, just like differently. Like them getting carried away on the right side. So taking the fight and then having Roma on the other works pretty well for them. As long as people obviously are not denying him. Class leaves is wide open, Connor's completely alone due to Poppy being stuck in there. Samly just now connecting to him when he dies. Sack wave successful. Chris on Spy. This is the 50-50 play. And it ends up being in the bad 50. Tiger has a bucket of chicken. They pop in here just to not drop the Poppy. Which is a little bit of an early one, to be honest. Like, it's a safety pop, sure. I give them that. But all they do is end up killing that. Sure, they have Chris coming in as well, so it's not the worst. But you could tell that that's not how they wanted to use the Uber necessarily. So yeah, now they still need to deal with 6 at a point, with Smirre just reapplying as he goes along. Samly's still a heavy. Still, sooner or later somebody needs to commit for the point, because Smirre can't just do that much alone. So Franz goes forward, Smirre as well. Connor is on 50, so he certainly won't get anytime soon. So baiting people towards the point should have been the goal here. Cadis doesn't have sticks ready yet. Which is a little bit iffy. I feel like Franz should have died there way quicker. Doesn't matter, eventually they just don't have the firepower anymore. Plus in this case annoying well, so Samly even switches targets. Just puts even less damage onto the point. And sure, you can blame Franz for not playing the point, but at the same time you would have died either way. So again, despite it not being quite what they wanted, they just had too many advantages going in. Or to go to not well, despite it not going perfect. Granary could have maybe done it differently as well, could have just jumped before everybody dropped down, so he could just like, be annoying to Smirre and they get easier point time. Or something like that, but you know, what does it matter? It worked either way. Anyway, Chris fast again. Again, without actually like accomplishing much there. Smirre is slow. Doesn't matter, doesn't take damage for it. That's like the least you want if you go slow. Somehow O'Connor has 10% more Uber on entry, so that's weird. Stark somehow missed up there. Chris tries again to just get Cadis, because you know Cadis likes playing aggressive from there, so he just kind of waits him out. Gets a decent amount of damage there. Runs on high ground before Tiger can do anything. Gets a lot of damage. Pack is gone, and Cadis certainly wanted that one. You can tell, otherwise he wouldn't press W there. Into that direction while weak. Still Tiger dies somehow, despite taking the pack, so that's really nice damage down from Smirre and Samzy. Risky plays from right side again, or tries to. Smirre had to go really aggressive for that on the point, so he just gets teamed up with Flash and Amps instead. Risky playing aggressive from there, but they know at this point that he's there. Like, they learned from their mistakes. So they split up a little bit more evenly to just have an easy kill onto Lonely Roma. Which is an easy kill to get. Franz commits really far forward with this, which I kinda don't like yet. Like, backup comes, but kinda late. Poppy should just die here. Anyway, SWIFT is just pressing W. They have numbers there, they can afford to a little bit. So they just immediately end up trading, plus getting another one with Chris going behind as well. Because they know exactly where those 4 people were. Like, everybody was just here. They hadn't had to worry about anything once those first 2 kills come in. So Chris jumps was really, really easy. So position recognition on process mid is just always nice to see. So you just don't just blind jump something and just end up jumping a single scout. Instead jump behind and just actually get value kills. Stark died. Most importantly. 2 minutes left on the clock. About possible, but this has to just like be around here. Smirre on Quickie lock and load again. Poppy jumps to sentry behind the pillar, so he actually has a really easy time killing that. Surprisingly enough. Funds plays the point immediately, sentry down as well. Interesting positions. We're actually not using 6 for playing the point themselves, which I'm still not a fan of. I say it every time. Poppy down right side, Tiger drops in from there as well. I don't know if that rocket was aimed at Tiger or a Disky, but it ends up hitting a Disky while Tiger was straight in front of him. They get a decent amount of cap time here. Chris is pretty weak coming in here. Everybody else falls back a little as well. Poppy is still alone forward on the right side. Sammy goes down to Tiger just pressing W. And this is why I don't like that Smirre went for the point here. Because he would have done a lot of damage on the point to people here, like onto Tiger at least, plus a soldier maybe as well. I don't know who dropped down onto point first. But I feel like it would have made a massive difference here, especially with the heavy. Anyway, Chris just kind of jumps for Spark, gets the kill, dies. So that's alright. Poppy from the right side, while everybody's just kind of scattered all over the place, and they still haven't done anything about him. It all has a pretty easy jump there while distracted for Smirre. And Funds towards the point. So he gets a pretty easy jump, a lot of damage, but nothing really dies yet. Okay, this is just feeding for Connor, which... I guess. Still kind of iffy with people around. But they end up getting him at least. So this really should have been around, and it easily could have been. But just a few key things went wrong. And now they're gonna lose 3-0. Probably. I don't actually remember. Alright, Funds leads this in, kind of alone. Poppy comes in delayed. Tries to jump in on whatever he was shooting, but it still died already. So he ends up just shooting nothing and dies. Which is always unfortunate to see. Like, when coordination is there, but... like, the one player leading is just doing too much damage early, so the second player just doesn't do anything and dies. Anyway, they just kind of try to press W, except they have a sniper. So it's kind of awkward, and Tiger just walks over Samsy. They still end up trading like 3-4-2 with one being a spawner, so they still have a mild opportunity here, except they don't have scouts, which is like kind of bad. Piper's mirror. That kind of fixes the situation. Stark takes a pipe as well. And looking at the time, it's pretty much over already anyway, so it doesn't matter if they get around or not. But they might as well just try. Since they're already here. Double sniper allowed actually? I just continuously forget about it. Like I really do. Anyway, what did Stark use? What happened? Okay, this almost died probably, that's it. Okay, this feeds into lobby because it's that time, it doesn't fucking matter. Stark ends up saving him because why the shit not? So all of SWIFT just can collectively pop in from the left side. From 1. Chris Poppy are not in yet on lobby. I mean, Poppy's weak, so he needs a pack, but Chris is obviously playing slow because why would he? Got on the point. Let's just pretend like this matters. Funds on the point, Smirre and Samsy trying to deal damage to people crossing over. Lots of time, people commit forward. When it's completely destroyed. Okay, this goes down somewhere, I don't actually know where that happened. Oh, he just jumped in behind, actually. He did that a lot, I noticed. Trying to get behind as a demo man. Which sure, like, can help your survivability. It can also just get you severely baited against people playing slow, which is happening. And he didn't actually deal any damage on the point. But Chris is just coming in and farming a little bit. 1v1, Samsy versus Stark. Stark actually hits the arrow. And then he just dies. So no, that's interesting. And again, Swift can try one more time against a team that doesn't have heals, doesn't have much of a gun. But Smirre had a lock and load, so that helps as well. I feel like that one would have hit if it wasn't a lock and load, because it would have been slower. Anyway, this is just a messy, stupid fight, it doesn't matter. Let's be honest. 3-0 is the final scoreline. 7 wins. somewhat convincingly. Wasn't like a complete roll or anything, but you know, they controlled the pace more, they controlled the map more. And didn't really let anything happen to last either. Yeah, that's just it. Okay. I'm done here for now. Because my throat is slowly dying and I still want to do maybe stuff later, I don't know, it's Saturday. Sometimes stuff happens on Saturdays. Yeah. This was interesting. Finally watched these games, which I haven't done before. Well, I mean, I watched one because I casted it at LAN, but I ran off a goldfish, so I didn't remember shit about it. And yeah, maybe I'll do more. Maybe I'll do like repeats of games I watched before if I know they're good and interesting stuff happens. Like maybe Grants, especially Granary Grants, and Gully as well. Actually, really interesting games. I would highly recommend those. And yeah, maybe I'll do those going forward.